If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
A spiky pine cone. Can I ask something else?
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
I'll have a look around, if you don't mind.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot. If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
I have already added this ingredient. That's not right. That's not right. I already have this. I already have this. I already have this. There's a monolith on the upper path. Sap is dripping from the branches, like the trees are bleeding. Last winter's cobnuts, picked from the tree. Wild garlic from the stream.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot. Oh, stop, that's poisonous.
Can I ask something else?
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
About these ingredients.
I'll prepare the birds and bacon while you shop in the hedgerows and woodlands.
Where will I find the cobnuts?
Cobnuts, or hazelnuts as you might know them, grow in the small thickets of the wood just down the lane.
Where will I find the wood mushrooms?
The answer's in the name, but I will add that you'll want to find a shady patch, perhaps near the old monument.
Does the garlic grow in your garden?
No, wrong season, I'm afraid. You'll have to find some wild garlic near the stream. It likes the damp, but avoid the train line.
I thought the trains weren't running.
Oh, don't worry yourself, just stay away from the train tracks.
Where can I find the chives?
There's some early flowering wild varieties in the drier soil at the top of the lane.
Can I ask something else?
Of course, there's no rush.
You should be complimented on your garden.
Oh, thank you. It's both a burden and a joy. It feeds us and provides much of what we need.
You sound like a witch.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, no, I meant as in a Wicca or chemist.
I see. Yes, I guess you could be right. I do create many charms and potions from petal and leaf. Such pretty young things.
Is that horrible letter meant for you?
Oh, don't. That silly old codger. He should know better. His affections upset my dear Robert, bless him. He's a sensitive soul.
Robert?
Oh, where are my manners? I'm Catherine Carswell. My husband Robert is in his workshop, fuming at present.
Why is that?
He's convinced I'm going to run off with the farmer.
And are you?
Oh goodness no, smelly man. I'll get no joy from Robert until he's calmed himself.
How will you do that?
Via his stomach, as always.
I'll have a look around, if you don't mind.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
I have already added this ingredient. I have already added this ingredient. The patterned stone is heavily cracked, probably frost damage.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot.
Fresh chives, picked from the lane.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot. Chives. Freshly trimmed.
Is that all? Is the broth ready to stew?
Almost. We need one final ingredient, something rather special.
Aha, tell me more.
We need some hedgerow balm. It's a natural sedative. It will flavour the broth as well as provide a little stress relief. For that husband of mine, he won't notice a thing.
What does balm look like?
There's a painting in the bedroom. Take a good look.
The pattern has been bleached by the summer sun. This must be the soothing balm. I think I saw some. Yes, in the hedge. The flowers are dry, old and brittle. Robert Carswell. Catherine Carswell. That's not right. That's not right. A yellowish flower, maybe a dandelion, a springtime flower, maybe a daisy, a pink flower I can't identify. This must be the soothing balm. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
If you have any ingredients, Nigel, do add them to the pot. There, it's ready to stew. It will need a good 2 hours in this stove. You look exhausted. Put your feet up by the hearth, and I'll put the kettle on.
Having eaten, Robert Carswell may be more accommodating. No, more like fruit stains. Yes, or tumbled berries. I am sorry for disturbing your work earlier today.
No, it is I who should apologize. I get carried away, you see.
I'd like to discuss something with you.
Very well, there's no time like the present.
Catherine is a wonderful cook and great company.
Aye, she's a pretty young thing, and sharp as a blackthorn. I don't know what I'd do without her.
She seems devoted.
Aye, but that old scarecrow up the lane has his eye on her.
The farmer? I don't think you have any worries, Mr. Carswell. Was the broth to your satisfaction?
Wonderful, as always. Oh yes. It amazes me what Catherine can conjure from the weeds that grow around this old farm.
Old farm? Ah, maybe you can help me. Do you know anything about the previous owners, the Agers?
No, can't say that I do. We nabbed this place at auction back in the 60s.
The 60s? But you were only... Never mind. Do go on.
Well, the place was done for, burnt out, falling down. Cost us, well, Catherine's folks, a pretty penny to make livable again.
Did you find anything valuable when you first arrived?
Valuable? Well, no. There were a few sheep camped out in the park.
No hidden passages, compartments, treasures?
Ha, you've been reading too much Enid Blyton.
Is there anything significant about the house?
Well, they say that the house is one of the last of Northfield.
Northfield?
Aye, the old village name. The rest is gone now, but the church remains.
The church? What church?
Aye, it's up through the woods, somewhere.
You're not a churchy person?
Not really. Not really the happy-clappy type.
Let's talk about something else.
Very well.
What are you up to? It looks like archaeology.
Close. It's actually geology. Well, that's what I tell myself.
Are you stuck with something?
Ah, you could say that. I found this slab near the old millstones, up in Carrion Wood.
Millstones? Carrion Wood?
Aye, the woods down the lane. At the summit there's a series of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. We call them millstones, seen as their turn and all.
One of the stones has been destroyed.
That'd be me, I'm afraid. Got a little carried away with my geology. Chipping away, the whole blasted thing collapsed.
What are these round slabs for?
That's what I'm trying to work out. They have a pattern on them, a symbol.
Do you think it's significant?
A story, perhaps? Or direction. I found them near the millstones.
So you think there's a connection?
Aye, I do. You should read my notes if you haven't already.
Where did you find the round slabs?
Scattered all over Carrion Wood. Some were under the soil. Others were exposed, like they were waiting to be found.
The woods have a strange atmosphere, don't you think?
Aye, they do. I don't mind admitting that there's corners to that wood that give me the shivers.
Ghosts, perhaps.
Oh, listen to us, spooking ourselves.
Let's talk about something else.
Very well.
Have you lived here long?
Getting on for a few years now. Why do you ask?
Let's talk about something else.
Very well.
I'll leave you in peace.
Pop back should you need anything.
What are these monoliths? What do they do? Perhaps Robert Carswell holds the clue. I'll make a note. Woodland mushrooms. That must be the tower of Northville Church. Now I know where to find it. There's someone out there. The graveyard is well kept for somewhere so isolated. A rusty metal letter. Large black crows are watching me. The graveyard is well kept for somewhere so isolated. The graveyard is well kept for somewhere so isolated. The church tower is castle-like. The door is rusted shut. Three crowns, a link to the legend. A rusty metal letter. A rusty metal letter. Large black crows are watching me. The church window contains stained glass, illustrating Bible stories. No one has been through there for decades. A rusty metal letter. Decorative gravestone. Large black crows. No one has been through there for decades. A pile of rubble, masonry, and broken gravestones, covered in weeds and flowers. Nature is taking back what was borrowed. Large black crows. Excuse me, may I disturb you?
No worries, lad. You don't disturb me.
Strange job you have, grave digging.
Preparing the bed is what I prefer to call it.
I'm visiting the church. I've travelled from Saxton.
Well, ain't that something? Run along, lad. Do your visiting.
Why do the crows not come into this area of the churchyard?
Them old crows know better than to dwell near open graves.
Can you spare me a few moments? I have some questions.
I'm rather busy, lad. If I can get my work done, I'll have some time for you.
Perhaps I can help.
That you probably can.
Just say the word, and I'll be straight on it.
Oh, lad, you are eager. Perhaps you'll be the lucky one.
The lucky one?
Oh, don't mind me. Just speaking out loud. I'm only used to the birds, you see. Damn birds. Black as ink they are. They've taken poor Tom again, taken him, and scattered him all over.
What do you mean?
Taken his name, and scattered him all over. If you put poor Tom together again, I reckon I might have a few moments to, converse.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. A rusty metal letter.
With me own bare hands, always digging.
A hedge sparrow, quite tame. The church window contains stained glass, illustrating Bible stories. Large black crows are watching me. No one has been through there for decades. Is that a crown? Yes, definitely a crown. A rusty metal letter. Tom Oliver. So now I know. The gravestone is complete. Excuse me, may I disturb you?
No worries, lad. You don't disturb me.
I've finished putting poor old Tom back together.
That you have, lad. He's looking on you kindly now. I've got more time for your questions, if you have something to ask.
Why are there so many crows in the churchyard?
They say there's a crow for every soul in this yard. They do. Watch how they be looking at you. The bad side of a crow's gaze has been known to strike a man down where he stands.
Does the name Ager mean anything to you?
Agers, is it? I should have known. What you be wanting with them?
Was there a connection between the Agers and the legend of the Anglo-Saxon crown?
There's talk that those Agers knew the location of that last crown, and I'm guessing they weren't the only ones. People don't go looking for things that don't need finding. The people of the Fens are superstitious folk, you know. They believe in the old ways, the ways of the land. It's best not to disturb them who sleep.
Did you know any of the Ager family?
Yes, I knew William Ager. Not personally, but I knew of him. He wasn't, how shall I say this, quite right in the head. A bit simple, if you know what I mean. Oh, this was back in the 1940s. Ager didn't go to fight. He was sickly. Bad breathing, bad heart, bad everything. They say the family spread their seed too thinly. Deformities and so forth.
What connections do the Agers have with the church?
Oh, that's a good one. Thomas Ager was a rector of this parish 200 years past. Odd fellow he was. Greedy and deceitful. We ain't allowed to talk about him to the vicar. He won't hear a bad word against him. But I can tell you there was darkness in his heart. Old Nick knew it. Some say it cost him his life. Poor old Nick.
Where can I find out more about the Ager family?
William Ager. He died in the 40s. Terrible for him it was. He died of tuberculosis. Water on the lungs. I heard he was near hysterical, terrified that there'd be no one left to carry the family name. You see, some folks say the Agers were guarding a great secret, entrusted to the family for centuries. I'd start with the museum folks. in Saxton. Or old Nanny Noah. She knows a thing or two.
Can I ask about something else?
Go ahead, lad.
The church is very isolated. Why is that?
A great plague. The Black Death. 12th century it was. A terrible time, lad. Truly terrible. Dead littered the streets and lanes of Northfield. Cattle and livestock roamed the country, unattended. Brother deserted brother. Mother deserted her young. 1/3 of the people died, all across Europe. Timber buildings soon rot away, and there ain't nothing to show for Northfield. It's a ghost of its former self.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Aye, that I do. The friends we have in life are still with us.
Can I ask about something else?
Go ahead, lad.
I'll get on with my visit.
Be seeing you, laddie. Be seeing you.
Good afternoon, Vicar. Can you tell me what we are looking for?
If I could, I would. I simply can't remember. I just know that I need it, and it's terribly important.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording. Nothing. The carving features two medieval ladies and a coat of arms carved into slate. What on earth is that? This could be orb activity. These panels should have some sort of decoration or carving. They have been worn smooth. There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording. The camera has captured something. The archway is decorated with a coat of arms. Thursday. The vicar lost Thursday. afternoon, Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, very well, if you must, for time and tide wait for no man.
I found this on the notice board. It appears to be a service plan for next Thursday.
Oh, dearie me, yes, I lost Thursday. I'm always losing Thursday. Bless you, young man. My week is complete. Oh, goodness, I'm late delivering Thursday to the flower arrangers. The WI women create the most lovely arrangements. A true symphony of petal, bud, and leaf. Take Thursday and give it to Nanny Noah. She'll know what to do.
Yes, I'm sure I can do that. I was planning to return to Saxton once my business here is finished.
Business? Oh, how very odd. What business?
I believe the Agers lived nearby.
It's a very old name in these parts, so I wouldn't doubt it. There's a William Ager buried in the churchyard, along with his ancestors.
Strong connections with Northville Church.
Oh, good heavens, yes. Thomas Ager, who died in 1799, was a rector of this very church. I must say that I am thrilled to find our history so interesting.
Did he worship here, at the church?
Oh yes, he was a most devout servant. His name is listed on the rood screen by the chancel. You'll find it if you look.
What happened to Thomas Ager?
It's interesting that you should ask, as there's a whiff of mystery surrounding his later years. He came into a large sum of money, most of which he ploughed straight back into the church. When money is given to such a worthwhile cause, people tend to accept, no questions asked.
Did Thomas Ager have a large family?
The Agers were a very large family in Thomas's time. Slowly the family number decreased and finally vanished some years ago. William was the last, poor wretched soul. He drove himself to an early grave, you know. He was in a terrible state. The family line was drawing to a close, and he feared there would be nobody to carry the family name. I always sensed that he carried with him a terrible burden, a secret of some description. Perhaps it was a family secret, passed down from one generation to the next. I dare say old Thomas Ager would have shared the burden in his time. But that is all in the past, and we must always look to the future.
Can I ask some other questions? Can I ask about the churchyard?
I'll help you if I can.
Do you mind the crows? They seem to own the church.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. I cannot dislike the crows, dear boy. They are all God's creatures. Do the crows frighten you? Parts believe that the crows were spies and messengers of the Dark Lords and Earth Gods. Silly, superstitious nonsense. Although I must admit that they do seem to watch our progress through life with envious eyes. Yes, Mr. Russet keeps the place looking spick and span when he's not hiding from the crows. He hates the feathered fiends. They terrify him, in fact. Based around the church tower. When the disease struck the village, it came with no warning. Whole generations were lost overnight. Terrible, terrible tragedy. No evidence of the old village remains, as many of the buildings are now hidden by the encroaching woodland beyond the church wall.